Today is December 17th, 2021. This is episode 176 of Maelstrom Radio. Maelstrom Radio. With your hosts, Gladys and Shitter. And welcome everybody to Maelstrom Radio. My name is Peter. With me, as always, is my good friend and co-host. Welcome, Quinton. Hi, friend.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. Also with us, partner in crime, podcaster, producer. Well, producer of podcasts.
There you go.
Temporary podcaster. Sometimes podcaster, all-time producer. Lover of plants, owner of cats. Susan Sprinkle.
Hi, it's me. I'm here.
Yay.
Yay.
I'm a little more animated tonight.
Wah, wah. Also, Mortimer's here.
I have to look over and to look at the other screen to see what we look like. I like
Lobstrom
the
Radio.
Mortimer.
Yeah.
Aw. I like the Mortimer layout. I like that comes out special when I'm on.
It's just for you.
Yay. So, what's everyone been up to?
Hi, sorry. Woo.
Peter is indulging it.
Should have tried that before the show.
Whiskeys of the Galaxy.
Woo. He's
He's only on days 3 and 4 of the advent calendar that I got for him for Christmas.
That is a taste I've never experienced in a whiskey before. That's so interesting. Sorry, everybody. Number 3 kicks you right in the back of the throat. It's warm. Not in a. Whew. Didn't expect that. It's good though.
Why? So you try your drink before the show starts.
I should have, but
yeah, but then you don't get reactions like this on there.
It's whiskey from Israel. I don't have the book, and I'm going through the book as after I drink them. And this one it's very light, not oaky.
He's only on that was number 3. He hasn't gone through the calendar full steam. We just haven't had time. We had a week off and it flew by.
Yeah. It happens.
We didn't really have any time to hang out and have a cocktail. I feel like it's just been go, go, go.
Yeah. I like to party, and I've had no time to party.
No. And also, Chili soloed Lakshmi today on his Sage because he's been trying out old fights. I saw him talk about it earlier in FC chat.
Yeah.
Chili likes to give himself weird challenges.
So you say you haven't had a whole lot of time recently, but what have you been doing while waiting in queue?
Well,
that's been a whole thing.
Well, I mean, you have to kind of not do too much because you have to babysit your queue because of those crazy 2002 errors.
They seem to be good now.
I know, because I've gotten 2 or 3 this week, and it's prevented me from playing. So,
and also Peter's gotten weird errors where he's in the game already ready to go, and then it'll just randomly crash, which sucks.
Yeah, that's not great.
That's worse than not being able to get in at all. Is getting in and then being kicked out.
It's like, oh,
back of the line.
Yeah.
And then also during our Endwalker time off, we got our booster shots, so we were kind of down and out for a day.
Yeah.
I was more down and out than Peter was, but so all team MR is now boosted.
Yeah.
14 days.
What?
I'm still recovering from my booster right now, so that's why I'm currently animated.
Yeah. It does the job.
So what else have we been up to? Quinton's boosted.
Everyone's boosted.
We We've been in queue a lot.
Yeah.
Peter streamed some Final Fantasy on Monday.
I did.
Spoiler-free Final Fantasy stream.
That's also true.
Is that when you did fishing?
No. So I didn't unlock the last rank in my Grand Company because I had to do
same.
thought 10, only 5 dungeons with your squadron.
I did 10 because I wanted those emotes. I want the sit-ups, the push-ups, and the squats.
And even though our good friend Chili loves the squadron, and I mean this in a loving way, is hot garbaggio. It's so bad.
I
It's
don't like
such.
the squadron. I like the trust much better.
Like I like that the trust auto attacks and like goes about their biz. Like I feel like I'm running with competent or like competent.
Yeah, they're competent.
Where the
squadron, they're competent.
The squadron is not competent. Like I did. I was like, all right,
Squadron is like Sprout Squad.
No, because I feel like Sprouts would have done better. Like I did Pharaoh Sirius, the regular one, and I was like, all right, I just need one more. I'll do a short dungeon. Pharaoh Sirius is fairly short. As I was doing it, so I was like, I'll also do it as a summoner because I wanted to kind of try out the new summoner, and even though it's early on, I figured I'd just take it for a whirl.
Mm-hmm.
So
how'd that go for you?
The first boss is fine. Second boss is where I had issues, and I was determined to beat it at that point, having wiped a few times. And Chili was like, "Well, there was an issue where this was too tough for the squadron, so they." And Chili's like, just go ahead and go back out and go do a different dungeon. I'm like, no, no, that's not the point. The point is of this is that you're supposed to be able to do this with the squadron. And see, it was too tough for normal people when it came. It's too tough for squadrons. Like it's still dumb. I don't know. It's only the second boss. Once you get that past that, the last boss is a cakewalk. Like that, and the first boss is the cakewalk. It's only the time where the squadron actually had to do like a mechanic where they're like, all right, focus the ads. They don't focus it. You're focusing the ads if you're a DP. If I was the tank, I think they would have focused the ads. But even then, I don't know if they would have. So I don't know. It's still not a good system. I don't understand why they haven't gone
I got my
back.
Emotes, I never talked to them again.
I will.
They're just neglected.
Yeah,
I go in there sometimes, use the glamour dresser, and that's about it.
And I don't know if they're useful for anything past any. Like I don't know if they unlock anything or if you do anything with them or like I don't think so. I think it's
not yet. That's the captain rank is the last one or whatever one we need. That's the last one so far. So when they release more, we might have to do more things with squadrons, but I really hope not.
I hope not. I hope. Well, if they do, I hope they're like, hey, we're going to overhaul the squadron system to be more like closer to the trust system, and that way, like, hey, we're going to like give them better AI, and awesome. Like Chili's like, I still use them to level up my jobs. Chili likes pain. That's what we figured out. Chili just likes.
He does like weird punishment things to himself.
Yeah. So Chili just likes punishing himself. So that's what I did. And my Fisher's 90. That's magically my Fisher's 90. Honestly, really easy to level. Like I just did a couple turn-ins. I'll go finish.
Yeah, fishing was the first thing I got to 90. It was super fast.
So.
But right now I have all my gatherers to 90 and I'm working on crafters.
Zaps in chat says that's all they really need is upgrade the AI, and they would be if they gave them the same AI as a trust system. Sure, I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna ever go back and do that. Although I have some great squadron names in there. I have like Careless Whisper, and I think that's great. That makes me happy.
And you can glamour them into whatever you want.
What's the point?
Because I think with the trust, when you get them like leveled, you can only just change their outfit into like one other thing.
One other outfit.
I believe so. I haven't bothered with leveling the trust, especially now with how they've changed the trust for Endwalker.
I was gonna say
I haven't looked into that yet, but they were really nice leveling up.
I wonder what the outfits would be in Endwalker.
We'll find out, I guess.
Yeah, just
Well, no, we're not gonna find out because none of us are gonna bother to level up our trust.
It depends. If it's good experience and fast, it might be reasonable. Although
we'll find out.
I did the trust going through the story. I did the trusts, and they worked out really, really well.
No spoilers, but I mean, there's a couple trusts that it's like I can't say no to this trust. Like I need to do this with the trust.
Yeah. That's why I started doing them,
Like,
and
there
I
are
just
2
kept doing them because it
scenarios
was
where it's
easier.
like I can't not do this with the trust.
Yeah.
Super trust.
Yeah.
So
before
Better
we get
than the Justice
into
League.
before we get into news and other stuff, in totally off-topic conversation, we have like light Christmas discussion
Wait,
to
I have one more
go
thing to
over.
add to that.
Okay. About trusts.
If the trusts are, you said super trusts, so the trusts are like the super friends, but the squadrons are like the Justice League.
Like, but not even the Justice League, more like the Planeteers. Like,
hey, Captain Planet was cool though.
Captain Planet was cool.
You know who the Planeteers are? We can't talk about this yet, but there is a group that are the Planeteers in Endwalker.
All right. Well, you can't tell me.
We'll have to talk about that after the show. I'm not sure.
Chili's like.
Oh wait, I do know. I do know now. Okay, I figured it out. I'm smart.
I probably do know once you tell me, but I still don't know.
But
how it works. So yes, Christmas stuff.
Yeah, Christmas gift news. So we have to thank Quinton because he mailed Peter and I a care package of lots of local beers that we haven't actually cracked into yet, but will soon. So thank you.
I look forward to the reviews.
Yeah, we have.
And then
I was gonna say
Peter received a interesting gift from one of his family members.
My uncle sent me
no.
I am now the proud owner of a tactical helicopter. Now, I know what you're thinking. A full-size tactical helicopter? No. I don't know.
Not what I was thinking.
It's like
so
the size of this Rockstar can size tactical helicopter. I don't know why. It's an little RC tactical helicopter. Now, what am I going to use it for? Probably messing with our cat.
Wait, have you opened it yet?
Not yet.
No, we haven't.
Okay, so yeah, Chili says, I hope you open them on stream with rubber gloves on. So we need an unboxing.
We do have rubber gloves.
It's already open. Like that's how I knew there's a tactical helicopter.
Maybe at some point we could try to do some like filmed footage of Peter operating his tactical helicopter and throw that on the YouTube.
Maybe. Maybe that's how we start our TikTok is tactical, like Maelstrom Radio presents tactical
TikTok?
Tactical helicopter TikTok. Tactical TikToks.
All right. And then one other thing I just wanted to go over because I think it's amusing is to discuss our all three of us are employed by different employers and have received
also true
different holiday gifts from said employers. So, Quinn, tell us about your cool holiday work experience. That's happening Monday, right?
So like there's stuff there's stuff coming. Apparently, I don't know what it is yet. But Monday we're going to. I'm not going to try to dox myself or anything. So, going to a fairly exclusive, very interesting experience with my coworkers that involves magic. So it's going to be.
If anyone even tries to find you there, they won't be able to get in.
It's true.
That's true. They could find me around there.
And they'll have to be very well dressed to get in.
They do. You have to be very fancy dressed.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go in. There was a whole ordeal this past week, so I get fancy dress on Monday.
Yeah. So Quinton, high-end, very high-end experience. Very nice holiday experience.
Yeah.
My job, we got to choose from maybe like 5 or 6 different items One was like a Bose speaker.
That's
There
pretty
was
cool.
yeah,
But
there was
Bose wireless earbuds, a Bose
yeah.
wireless Bluetooth speaker.
What I chose was a projector. So
Mhm.
now in our bedroom we have a projector that we like mounted to the wall, and we can lay in bed and watch a projector on the other wall. Pretty
Yeah.
cool. I like a projected fireplace.
It's pretty
It's
great.
nice.
And it's
Yeah,
like
and it came with a bucket of like random snacks
oh
and a
Ooh.
cool cooler bag.
yeah, it actually came inside of like I think like a $30 Igloo cooler bag. So it's like
Nice.
yeah, so
You're,
altogether pretty solid.
yeah, I was gonna say, you're
So,
saying that mine's like high end. I mean, that's
yeah,
pretty
yours
solid.
mine's you know, I
Yours
mean
is
it's
still
not
pretty
quite
up
as nice
there.
as yours, but it's it's good. And Peter, tell us about your work Christmas gift that you received in the mail today.
Boy, well, I got a high quality cotton blanket.
Those are nice.
Well,
It's not nice. It
It-
feels it feels like it's rough.
it's
That's
a
not
hard.
that's not a high quality.
No.
it's
It feels like a tablecloth.
It's normal quality.
yes. So is it a high quality brand?
Got
Yeah.
nerfed at 6.0.
So let's put it this way: is the brand high quality? Yes. Is the
It's not a blanket that I want to cuddle with though.
That's-
Like I
that's
don't want to sit
exactly
on the
it.
couch on that blanket. It'll scratch me.
yeah? It's
Pet blanket.
It's a. It's not even a pet blanket because I feel like the pets wouldn't even like it. It's a like
You'd be
a
surprised.
no Poe like soft things and Ash is particular in most aspects as well. I don't think either of them will like it. It's a I guess it's one of those blankets that you have and it's more for like decoration. Does that make sense? It's a decorative blanket. And
It doesn't look good though.
but the problem is that it's also got like the company logo on it, so it's like who's decorating like what? No, it's not tapestry. It's not. It's got
No,
it's
it's
like I
not
would
good.
you would put this down for a picnic. It's probably the best thing to use it for, but I don't think Susan and I are going on a picnic anytime soon, so not in like 20
Not using
degree
that blanket. I have like way cooler blankets that I can use as picnic blankets.
so
I have those like Mexican Baja blankets or whatever they're called.
yeah, those are great. Chili's like the boss weaved it themselves. No, they purchased the blanket because they put their logo on it. So it was that or a like a Hanes sweater with the company logo on it. So
Not great. So yeah, sorry to go off road there a little bit, but I wanted to share our exciting holiday work experiences.
Yeah.
I come on the show and I just derail everything.
It's
I understand that's my role here.
I mean it's been worse.
Yeah, I say, have we ever really not derailed ourselves?
It's the wait, Zap says it's the blanket you put under the nicer picnic blanket to keep the nicer
That's
blanket.
true.
That's accurate.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very accurate. Or it's the blanket that you throw down like oh no, this is the garbage blanket. It's the garbage blanket, so
Merry Christmas. Here's a
yeah.
garbage blanket.
They're like choose your
I'm putting garbage blanket on the potential show title list, by the way.
It's funny because where I work there are same company, different how would you explain it? Like different umbrellas of the same company?
Yeah, like we work for the same like overarching company, but we're on two different branches.
And it's the day that they announced the gifts, like what Susan was getting, those folks work like in the same area as we do, like the ones that are in office. And they're like, oh man, look at it. And then like a day later, we're like, oh, we are. And they're like, oh, what are you getting? And we're like, well, we got a choice between a blanket and a sweater, and everybody else is like, ooh. So it's good times.
But anyways, enough about that. We got a lot to get into. We got news.
All of it is going to
We
be
got Final
heavily
Fantasy
censored.
stuff.
Zap says, hopefully your boss isn't watching. They spent hours picking out those blankets. I was like, I guarantee they did not spend hours picking out those blankets. I can tell you that. I guarantee it. I guarantee they did not. I guarantee they had those on retainer. Those things were already picked out. I'm sure they had extra and they could drop them off in like any other time of the year. Anyway, let's get into better things. Final Fantasy 14 news.
Well,
I mean, it's better than a blanket. A
New
longer
podcast
better
name,
than a
or episode title.
yeah, better than a blanket. A long response from Naoki Ishida about the state of congestion. Yoshi P went on to state that he's apologizing once again.
it was a very, very long lodestone post. Like,
Yeah.
people can't say that they're not being open and forthright
Yeah.
about everything that's going on.
Very true. Recently, someone in our FC just went off on a small rant in about SE not being truthful about this. And I'm hard pressed to say that they have not been forthcoming with the information all the way since back in July, where they're like, hey, we know the servers are getting pegged with all these World of Warcraft folks. Just give you a heads up, we're trying to get servers and it's being really hard. They knew back then, so it's not like they didn't know. They knew back then that this was going to be an issue. They kept reiterating that it was going to be an issue, and lo and behold, it's an issue. So I'm not shocked.
Go ahead.
But I'm not shocked. But I think people that are out of the loop of the news from the company that are coming in have this opinion that they have not done enough. And I almost think that the three of us are in agreement that the company has done, and if not, went overboard with giving us not only 7 days, another 14 days on top of it. And I can tell you from other MMOs that I have played, including World of Warcraft, the most World of Warcraft has given me in any sort of form of game time because they screwed something up is a day at best. So 21 days total, get out of here. Like no MMO company's doing that.
And even from like the technical aspect, like the responses that they've been giving have been fairly technically detailed in terms of what companies usually give out. And the way that they've broken it down is really, really well done, enough so that people can understand what's going on, but they don't actually need to know what the internals look like or like the deep technical knowledge of their systems. So I've been pretty impressed with just the communication that they've had and the transparency that they've had around it. Does it suck? Absolutely. Being stuck in a 4,000, 7,000 person queue, not being able to get in, getting kicked out of your queue, getting kicked out of game, not fun problems. But like you said, you can't really go out and say like, hey, they're not doing anything about it, because they're doing as much as they can. And as slow as it might seem to us, we can't see what's going on inside the company right now. And they're probably going 120% all the time trying to get this in and trying to get a better experience. And kudos to their developers and systems engineers.
Yeah, and also like on a side note, like the same type of reaction when they announced that the game was going to be delayed, it's like the same type of reaction with the queues and stuff. Like people are like telling other people how to feel, like they're getting upset if somebody else is upset. It's like you got to let people feel their feelings. Like if we took off of work for a week, so we were lucky that we were able to get in like early and play during the day. But if I had to work a regular job, I wouldn't be able to get in. Like I work till 8 o'clock. Like if I had to wait till 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time to log in, like I wouldn't be able to get in, and I just wouldn't be able to play, and that would be a big bummer, and I would be upset about it. Like I would be sad, and people telling other people, "Oh, don't be sad." Like look how transparent they're being, or
Yeah.
whatever. Like I don't know.
It's one thing to
Like, let people feel their feelings about this. They're doing their best. We're all doing our best.
I agree. I think people having like going through and saying, "Hey, this sucks," and I'm bummed out about it. That's one thing. To say that they're not doing enough or that they're lying or something like that. That's the other. I was like, maybe you need to take a break. Take a little walk. Like,
Yeah.
that's when like rumors and like conspiracy theories start happening. Like, people. Final Fantasy 14 will be granting 21 days of time. We just went over that, but so if you already got the 7 days, so you got the 1 week. This is an additional 14 days on top of those 7, so 21 days in total. Again, and Yoshi P put it in his statement about the congestion that if it's still an issue, they will seek further compensation to us. Again, they do not need to do that. That's not in any sort of their terms of service. They're just providing good
Well, and there was also
customer service.
the bit where they're not letting new people get in. Right?
Yeah.
That was
So
Our game is too good. We have to shut off all marketing and new signups.
yeah. So all marketing is ceased. The free trial is ceased. So Final Fantasy 14, the critically acclaimed MMO has you cannot play currently. Nor can
and
you
we
play.
do know some people that are like new to the game that like are still in ARR and are just like, well, bet you guys are having fun. I'm just gonna go play something else for a while.
Yeah, well, I know people that are in AR but bought the game, so they're fine. So it's anybody that purchased the game is okay. It's anybody that's on a free trial that's not going to be able to get to log in and play, and it does suck. So,
They said, did you see some folks have tweeted asking if they could do a class action lawsuit against the company?
Are you kidding? For what?
The answer is no, but I would love to see them try.
I would. Yeah, you know what? The kind-hearted person means like, no, sit down. But the other part of me is like, yeah, go do that. Because honestly, Maelstrom Radio needs more content, and we like laughing at others. So please go ahead and try. Maelstrom Radio not liable for anything that you choose to do with any sort of.
It's in the business.
What, people suing us? That's true. It is in the business. You're not can't sue us. I mean, you could attempt to, but we don't have anything. So, and that's
you don't want anything we got.
Whatever we got.
Radio. You don't want anything we got.
Maelstrom Radio. That's the new motto for 2022. You don't want anything we got. Well, and if you're currently logged in game, waggle your characters. If you're not logged in game,
Zaps wants our cats.
Oh,
you can't have Ash and Alfie.
You cannot.
I mean, it depends. If Ash has another shower incident, you might change your mind.
Even that, I still love him. I can't help it.
It's true. She does.
Even if he sits in his own shit and we have to hose him down in the shower and perform sanitary haircuts on his butt hair.
Yeah.
I still love him. I can't help it.
Got a bad haircut into his 2 back legs. Well, we're gonna be talking about Endwalker in a completely spoiler-free way. There will be no spoilers during the podcast. I'm just giving everybody the warning.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to spoil anything. We promise.
We promise. There's no dungeon names. There's no trial names. Nothing will be given out. Think of it more as our thoughts,
we want to give our impressions, feelings. Yeah.
But nothing that will state any areas, zones, or not. This will be 100% spoiler free for everybody that's listening. We want you to, if you're playing through the game, we want you to enjoy the podcast still. If you've already finished it, you can still kind of, tag along and be like, I know. So, and if you haven't yet, you'll just be like, ooh, they like it. And that's an endorsement, I guess. We'll go with that. So I guess we'll start with.
Well, we'll start with, we all finished the MSQ. We have completed the entire MSQ. We are all max level. We finished all the things.
I did it.
Multiple times.
I did it.
Multiple times.
I have 290 characters.
Okay.
I
But you're
mean,
not like some people where they're on their second MSQ. Looking at you,
No.
Zaps.
the Zaps.
Paul.
Paul's
Paul.
got 3 characters to do.
He's done 2 of them, I think, already.
That's crazy. I can't imagine.
The question is Paul actually going through and watching the cutscenes twice or 3 times?
I don't
Yeah,
think
but there are
so.
certain things that you can't skip. There,
Not many.
I mean, all the like duties and stuff that you have to do.
Oh, yeah.
There are several Endwalker duties.
Several duties. The several duties of Endwalker. Yeah, we've all finished it. And with that, I mean,
So we did all the MSQ, we did all the dungeons, we
Mhm.
did all the normal trials, but we have not dipped into any EX stuff, right?
No.
Quinton, you haven't done any EX stuff
Nope.
on the side, have you? No? Okay.
That's a weekend thing.
Yeah, we hope to do some of that this weekend, so fingers crossed that we can all get in together.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So
So
how
overall,
did
we can all say that overall our impressions are positive. Can we
Say
agree
my
there?
first impression was going to be a loud scream, but I don't have the energy for that right now, so just imagine it.
just Quentin's impression? Is that it? Not screaming enough?
Not quite. No.
Well, this is my impression of it.
10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100, best game.
Yeah, that's it. 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100, best game. Like, wholeheartedly, like, honestly, it really was. I've played a lot of MMOs, and I can wholeheartedly say I don't think I have ever experienced something so good. As someone who's played every single World of Warcraft expansion, questing through EverQuest 1 and 2, not to say that they have bad moments, it's just this truly felt almost flawless. Like it's truly, to me, like I will hold
Like
this.
you're watching a movie but playing parts of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's so good. It is so good, and even the moments that are not the movie part, like the that stuff that's like the dungeons and the trials.
Yeah, like everything is setting something else up. Like everything is meaningful, everything is impactful, everything like has a place in the story. Like I mean, I've heard people say some parts they think are like filler-ish, but I mean, I didn't really think anything felt.
No, I think if anything, it like from the start, it felt like a very Final Fantasy start. I wouldn't say 14, but a very Final Fantasy start to a story. Which most Final Fantasies are that way. Like there's very few that are.
Imagine that Final Fantasy games having a Final Fantasy start. Like,
yeah.
I never would have guessed.
Very few start on a very like high impact note. Final Fantasy 7's a good example of that, where it's very like you're infiltrating the city. Like that's a very like you jump right into the action in Final Fantasy 7. Where I think this is more like the journey. like you're the journey, and then like it's such a like. And it, like from the get go, it slowly rolls you in, and then like it goes, and then like that's how the roller coaster starts, right? You're starting to go up, and then like it goes like once it starts to pick up pace, it picks up, and it's so good.
Like I think with the pacing, I think that the pacing, that
It's Rob here,
that
Rob watching.
he was in game earlier. But I think the pacing was great. Like I really didn't think that there was any slow parts or parts that felt unnecessary. And like the parts that, like there was a good mix of like action, kind of like slow downtime, but building up to a story. There's parts of humor. Like I think the pacing and the layout of the story was well done.
They did and this is probably in my head, this is like the best way to explain it, is that they did a really good job of giving you those moments of humanizing in a way your character and the characters surrounding you.
Mhm.
Where in other MMOs it's always like hero to the thing, hero to the hero to the hero do the thing, hero do the thing, hero we must need you, hero now, hero. It's always something like that, where this is more of a slow down and take moments to appreciate the slower times, because you may not always have those moments, and it's so good. Like, again, so good. Like they truly nailed it. Truly nailed it.
Yeah, Zaps, did anyone else bawl their eyes out or just me? I put it on my notes. I think there was 4 or 5 different times that I cried during the MSQ.
I can be a fairly emotional person, so yes. I'll just leave it at yes.
I got misty-eyed. I'll admit I got misty-eyed. So
When we
I-
do like our full spoiler extravaganza, like I'll talk about all the different parts that made me cry, because there was a few.
I think
go.
Chili's got a good point here. Like, the expansion has lows, but the highs are so good that it covers them. And there are a few points during the whole story where it's kind of like, this part's kind of dragging on a little bit too much, or like, do we really need this? Or I really wish there was more of this character. But like, all in all, it was a very solid story, very well paced. It didn't feel like some previous expansions. Like, I know in Heaven's Word, we kind of did the whole thing, and then you get to Az's Law, and you're there very, very quickly. Like, you barely spend any time in that whole last zone, which is really cool, but kind of defeats the purpose of that whole area.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen as much here. Like, there was a little bit of it, but not too much.
Not. I really do. I feel like all the zones got plenty of like their own, not only hub stories, but also their own like time to shine. So you really got like to really feel like what each zone had to offer.
I still feel like in most expansions, including this one, the final zone is underutilized. Just because you're typically coming towards the end of the story, it's a culmination. You're focused more on the final dungeons, final trials. They don't put as much into that, and I think that falls a little bit short here as well.
It does.
But still very.
Yeah, but I think they utilized it still a bit better than they have in the past.
True.
So,
Billy says he's a bit of a monster and he didn't cry.
well, Chili, you like pain and suffering in different ways. So you're just like, where's the squadrons? They take squadrons out, Chili will cry. That's what I think. Or Chili has no emotional connection to any of these characters.
Or he just has no emotional connection to anything.
Well, there you go. Chili. Well, go watch Chili's unboxing video. I'll give him a shout out. Go watch Chili's unboxing video. Possible serial killer. So how did your original predictions for Endwalker like compare to the
Did you guys make any official?
I think we did. We had a whole episode.
We did. We kind of talked about.
I should have looked up what they were to like compare, but I didn't do that.
We'll have to do that for our official like spoiler episode.
Yeah,
it's hard to talk about like specific things of how it differs. So like, as far as I will say, the predictions that I had, there were some that I got correct. But all in all, could I have told you anywhere where that story was going? Not at all. It felt like every 5, 10, or 10 quests, it completely changed directions.
Yeah, there were quite a few very surprising moments that
twists, turns, and
yeah.
If you would have told me, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, there's one he's got to go.
I was gonna probably say the same sort of thing. Like, if you would have told us what was actually going to happen in this expansion before we played it, I probably would have laughed at you and said that's never going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I made predictions, and I even joked about some of the predictions on our Twitter. But like how they like where I thought things were going to go initially, like all right, well, this is gonna be how I envisioned the story being and what they delivered. Though some things I did predict were correct, they so far like in the other direction, like so crazy. Like I don't think I could have ever predicted.
I'll say that things that you thought would happen more towards the end happened pretty early on. So then you're like, well, what else are they gonna do then? Like, where is this gonna go? And
I think it was some of our more wild predictions, the ones that were like way out of left field that we were like joking about. When some of those started happening, it was like,
ooh, yeah, like that's when I was like, oh no,
sorry,
no.
what?
Just taking the piss. What happened? Well, proved us wrong, SE, once again. The 14 team early. Now if you tell me like what the future of everything is, I don't know. Now I can tell you.
Well, that's good because they completely changed it at this point. 6.1 is a new story.
So, I mean, I had thoughts of that, but I don't I don't want to predict. So speaking of the the story, without spoiling anything, I mean, where does this expansion fall for you? Like, does it take place out of all from ARR to now? Like, how would you order things?
I think this is a little bit of a difficult question because coming off of Shadowbringers, which took a huge jump over Stormblood and just completely set the bar incredibly high for all games, let alone like Final Fantasy 14. And like hands down, that was my favorite expansion. I think for myself, Endwalker has unseated it. So I think my overall ranking would be Endwalker, Shadowbringers, Heaven's Word, Stormblood at this point.
And then AR.
I guess, yes.
Well, you can't say 1.0. I mean, you could, I guess.
1.0, so.
Susan?
I think I'm in the same boat, but then I'm like wondering, like, is ARR better than Stormblood though? Because there's a lot of cool things. Like, I mean, it's a slow start, but I mean, it ramps up towards the end.
I got anime in Stormblood.
You did get anime in Stormblood, that's true.
And jumping puzzles.
You did also get jumping puzzles.
And Yugiri.
Yeah, that's
true. I do like Yugiri.
And
Gosetsu. I got Yugiri.
And Gosetsu.
Damn, I didn't get Gosetsu. I do like Gosetsu. Yeah. Oh.
And Tsukuyomi Mount.
I agree. I think Endwalker takes the lead, and then Stormblood, and then
like it's hard to say one is better than the other. It's that Endwalker puts everything together in such a good way that it just all feels like one.
Because they're not trying to pace out a story over a bunch of different patches. This is one complete story. And then everything after this is going to be new story, right? Like everything we expect after this will start to build up the whatever, if it's the next expansion or the next 10 years, like we don't know. But
yeah, like with Endwalker, it feels like all the previous ones are just lead up bits for this. Like this is the main story, and it just took all those other things to like.
But
typically, what happens when you do the end of an arc?
Yeah, but in terms of
it's
like
the culmination of years and years of work.
I think in terms of like the quality of things and like what they learned from Shadowbringers, really like you could see they put a lot of work into this, and that shows. I think overall quality, overall storytelling, even if it's just all compressed into one section, is really good. Like I'm looking at it as if like, and I will say, and this is not even a spoiler, we'll tell you, be prepared to play a lot of story. This is very beefy. I mean,
We the three of us started on early access day, so Friday. And yes, there were queue issues or whatever, but I didn't get done with the story proper until the next Saturday.
Yeah, I was done on the Thursday.
Yeah.
and that's some days.
I would have gotten done on Friday, but Booster kicked my ass.
So, and we'll say that it's a lot of like, there is a lot of like, sometimes you kind of need a break because you're getting punched in the feels a lot. So you're just kind of like, oh, geez.
or very stressed out.
That too. Yeah. So
yeah, there was a few times where I had to step away. I'm like, I need to take this in.
Where I don't think I had a lot
Oh.
of that in Shadowbringer. So again, Endwalker I think is going to take the top slot for me. Then it's going to be Shadowbringers for sure.
I can say that Endwalker has the most stressful duties. Can I say that?
Sure.
That's not spoiling it.
Not
You weren't there for Rub on Savage, but otherwise, yes.
Are you saying that in terms of difficulty or
like the
emotional weight?
Emotional situation that you're put in, and then you're doing these duties.
There you go.
And they're like different than tasks you would normally perform in game. Can I say that?
Yes, there you go.
And we have Tesleen.
Yeah. So then Heaven's Word for sure, because I think Heaven's Word is really where they started showing what they could do, and have the Dragon Song War so good. And I mean, it introduces so many great characters. Stinian, Almeric.
You said good characters.
I said Stinian.
I like a Stinian.
Imeric, Lucia.
There's
Hilda.
tons. There's tons of characters that are great.
Yeah, but you had to start with a Stinian.
He's not that bad
compared to the rest, though.
We don't get to see a lot of them, though.
I mean, even
They're
Joy.
Good. They're good.
Joy is better than a Stinian.
Sure.
You don't know Joy. Joy is part of the Machinist quest line.
Sure. I mean, I'm aware of Joy, but still, it's Stinian. Heaven's Word. Its absence. Heaven's Word is to me the weakest. It's so boring. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. No, I would take the Heaven's Word story over a Stormblood story.
Yeah.
Stormblood was
sure.
Stormblood had good potential, but it ended up trying to do too many things and not landing any of them.
Yeah. It took until I think the end of the expansion to really tie all of it together. And that's the weak point of that, and it's unfortunate but it took way too long to to get Stormblood in the spot it needed to be because of certain characters, and that because there's still people that listen to us now that are new listeners that have not played through anything. So I'm still not trying to spoil anything. So there's certain characters I feel like that they wanted to be very strong in roles that didn't get to that point until near the end of the expansion, and due to writing or just because they were playing too many places at once. I don't know. And then AR at the end. I'm sorry, AR. I don't know. I'm torn because I really think AR gave us a lot. I think Stormblood is going to go right above AR. I think Quinton and I have the same list. But not to put. It's almost tied. Like it's only edging it out by almost so much. So
I still resent the cheese quest a little bit.
The cheese quest?
The one where we had to go and fetch all the stuff for our own.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still resent that because we did that pre-nerf, pre-changes, and that, I still have bad feelings for that whole line.
Samson saying it wasn't until Shadowbringers that I even appreciated the
Warrior of Darkness
dark
plot.
and
I mean, I think that's by intention. Like
Yeah.
they were dropping bits and pieces of things that were happening in the future that we didn't really understand or know.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Chili says AR is above Stormblood because of the amount they had to get done only in a few years. Is that in terms of like pumping out a redo of an MMO? Yes, absolutely. AR takes the cake on that. That's a lot of work. Like I would never wish that at any development team. Like what Yoshi P like intended to do still has never been like, that's why like everyone's so fascinated by it, right? Like because it's nobody's been able to do it like that and succeed. Like no one. I again played a lot of MMOs, can tell you most of them fail.
Most MMOs don't tell you, please stop installing our game. There are too many players. We appreciate you, but stop.
Yeah. I can tell you World of Warcraft has never once said, please stop installing our game. We cannot handle it.
That's true.
So-
They want more people to play their game.
Yeah, honestly, right now they're
Fortunately,
probably
they're over in our queue.
so yeah, they're just like, please come play. Please help. So Zaps' list is Shadowbringers, Endwalker,
Stormblood.
I think you mean Stormblood.
Stormblood, yeah, Stormblood, ARR, and Heaven's Ward. I mean, that's alright. It's an alright list.
That's an opinion.
I don't agree with that list, but it is your list, and you could be proud of it. It's not my list.
Jeez.
Uh,
Oh, lost the
So-
claw. There goes Zaps.
As
Good
we
job,
kind
Peter.
of yes, you're right. You can be wrong, Zaps. So as we kind of get towards the end of our time here, I do want
It's
to
like
go
I feel like we
over-
want to talk about so much more, but I don't know
We'll
how
have
to
to
talk about
leave
it
a lot of-
without spoiling
yeah.
things.
I feel like one thing that we do need to point out, because it is one of the more, I think, underappreciated parts of the expansion, while also being one of the most important pieces, and that's the music.
I don't know if
You
it's
don't-
underappreciated. Like
Well, I
everyone,
mean in the sense of like you don't really notice it most of the time. Like it's good. It's an amazing soundtrack. Everything is great with it,
there's
but
so many good like
it's kind of
chill
just there,
things.
right? But like it's kind of just invisibly there, which is a really good sign of it, right? Like it blends in with the game so well that you don't even notice it. It's not like it stands out. It's not like it's like there's this
Until you-
thing that doesn't quite jive. It like everything flows really well together when you have special, like when you have quests that are very, very like when they're trying to build a hype, like the music reflects this. When there's like something
like,
bad
it'll
about to happen, the
immediately
music
change.
reflects this. If you go into combat, the music has the changes how you're doing it. Like zone to zone, the music changes. Like everything that they've done with the music in this expansion has been
And Chili
like,
says
so much better.
except for one zone, and we know the zone. I think I know the zone that had the
Yeah.
music that
I know which music you're talking
it
about.
grew on me. I didn't like it at first,
Yeah.
but it is growing on me because of
Like-
its like janky weirdness.
It's kind of like the Lahi of Endwalker, but not quite as good. It's in that, yes, it's a very unique song, and it fits very well with where it is.
Yeah,
Um,
but there are so many songs that
yeah,
the kids
They
say
d-
slaps.
Yeah.
There's some songs in there that slap.
there really
And-
is.
yeah. Like Soken absolutely outdid himself yet again, which I know is very hard to do after coming from like Heaven's Word, Shadowbringers, Stormblood. Like they all have really good soundtracks. I don't even know what to expect at this point. Yeah, the music was done so well, and even like again, no spoilers, the way that they tied the music in to even the previous games
Yeah.
and previous expansions and previous like callbacks to music, like they just so much they use so
Chili redeemed some channel points and wants to guide the raid to She Heals I Tank. And we know that obvious streaming. We were just not sure about if we wanted to dump
Spoilers.
into a spoiler
Spoiler
after having a
yeah.
non-spoiler
Like,
podcast.
as
we weren't
to
sure
a
how-
spoiler laden show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, depending on who's here, it's like I don't want to. I mean, I guess we can tell people if they want to opt out before we raid. We
Yeah.
can do that.
You have the option to leave.
But yeah, I am excited to see Avi streaming, so I totally get why you'd want to raid She-Heals, I think.
So do we want I do want to talk about speaking of the audio, I do want to talk about the
Your database?
yeah, so I
The
do
ear
want to talk
database.
about Soken's ear database that we all signed up for. So
We're on a list.
We're on a list. My ear's on a list. I paid my ear to the sound gods. And
Your ear tax.
yeah. I forgot the name of the program.
Embody.
Embody, yes.
Yeah.
So Embody worked with Soken to create a spatial audio for Final Fantasy 14. And the demo dropped the same day as the game. I went
So all three of us signed up for it.
yeah.
We got the trial.
And it truly changes the experience, I think, of the game. And I feel like Endwalker was only enhanced by, and this is not like we're not sponsored by them. This isn't an ad. It
Please
does
sponsor us though.
It does cost money. It's just I paid for it. I'm just gonna give you my review of it. I think that if you have, especially if you have over the ear headphones, and even if you don't have like,
It worked with my in-ear headphones,
I'd
which
say
was
like
wild.
Quinton's using buds and it still worked for him.
it still worked.
I have
yeah.
I have over-ear headphones right now, so when I get in game, I'm gonna try it out and see how it goes.
Yeah.
And when I signed up for it, I'm like, oh, this isn't like this isn't gonna make that much of a difference. And then when you notice it, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
the sound that's coming from over here. That's so cool. Like
So-
it's neat. Like there'll be sound that like washes over you in some magical way. Like it's really cool.
And I think the thing that like really impressed me is that when Quinton was talking about like, hey, that music, it changed how the music, I think, in those parts that he was discussing, like when that music like fades in the background and the sound stage changes. And I don't know, because they worked so closely with Soken, I'm sure Soken did a lot of work with them about like music itself, not just the sound of Endwalker or Final Fantasy 14, but the music of Final Fantasy 14, because you can tell when it fades away, when it comes back in, and the soundstage really opens to let the music come through. It is an amazing audio experience, and I think it only helped like increase how much I like this expansion because of the audio. And now there's stuff I want to go do because that is on and I'm using it. Like I want to go do Leviathan again and see if I get a better sound placement on when Leviathan pops out of the water and stuff like that, or certain fights that might be like they did the demo with Shiva. I would love to try like Shiva with like the no music and just to hear like the like when she goes around you to create the ice and everything. Like I would love that.
Yeah.
So man, if you have not, go download the demo of Embody. If you're comfortable taking a picture of your ear and sending it to it, the idea is that they create a profile based on your ears, your ear shape and ear design based on like the canals and stuff like that of your ear. So
Or they're just
or
this is all just a ploy to get
or your ears on a website and somebody's making a lot of money off of you. So with that, we couldn't go into too many things, and
I know it's like we have so much that we want to talk about.
We want to talk to you
we're
so much
waiting.
more. We are waiting.
And we won't talk about this till next year, because we have next few episodes like booked up with other stuff. So
yeah,
but
and
we will devote 1-2
months. I don't know.
maybe 3 episodes of Endwalker spoilers, depending on how deep we go and what we get into.
Yeah. Might, we'll see.
But
It could be a
Not till
little
next year.
Yeah. So
We shall see.
with that, go ahead and wiggle characters if you're in game.
I
I'm
just did that
25
right
in
now.
queue, so we
I
got
am
good
in game,
timing.
and
Yeah.
I just wiggled my character, so I am good.
We'll check. With that,
Susan, I know you were really excited. Would you like to do the business for us?
I can do the business. So, all right. What do we got on the docket?
yeah,
Twitch.
yes,
We are live on Twitch right now. If you're listening to this in the podcast version, please feel free to go to our Twitch channel and give us a follow. We are hoping to reach 777 followers by the end of the year. That's a significant number for our Team Whiskers, so we're hoping to get there. And if we make that number by the end of the year, Peter and Quinton will do a wholesome Kigurumi stream. Peter has a Snorlax Kigurumi in his closet right now.
yeah.
Quinton has a Kigurumi that has not been disclosed as of yet.
Mhm.
So we hope to get that information soon. But please, if you're not following us, please follow us. Tell your friends to follow us. Tell your mom to follow us. Follow us. We're cool. And other things that are happening at the end of the year. We're in a bet with Chili from Mogo Go Round. And will Chili have flying unlocked in all the zones on his Gilgamesh character by December 31st? We'll find out soon. I think
Yeah.
we're not officially talking about it till next year, right?
That sounds right.
Because this is technically our last live episode of 2021.
It's true.
We won't have a live episode next week, but we will have a recorded episode that will be out on our regular podcast
Yeah,
drop time.
you'll still get a show.
Yes, you will get a show, and we still will do a regular game stream on Monday and Thursday.
Mhm.
Probably Final Fantasy both times.
Bofa.
Yes, both times. Yes. So please look forward to that.
Oh, there's one more thing, just in case. If you're here live with us. Meanwhile, that's right. December 31st, 2021, the last day of the year. Is this the sixth annual? The fifth annual? I did it the first year of Maelstrom Radio, so year 0.
Oh,
So
right.
that would be 6.
That was 5.
So, all right, fifth annual.
I have it written down somewhere, but I don't have it in front of me. I apologize.
It is the annual.
Yeah, the annual plan for the plan list. That's right. You don't have plans. I'm giving you
plans for the plan list.
Yes, that's right. So every New Year's Eve, I get together with our community. If you have nothing to do that year, as we know that we're still living in the pandy, and you might not be able to go see friends and family during the pandy. So we're gonna ask that if you're gonna be socially distant and you want to stay safe that night, or if going out's not your thing, but you still want to have
Or
fun,
if you're just home early.
Yeah, that too. Come hang out with us. We're gonna play games. Jackbox.
Kind of conflicted.
Jack with what?
Well, I have
They're gonna
plans.
hang out with us or not.
You have plans.
Well, I have plans, but my plans are to be with the plan list. It's just really.
Oh well.
I don't know how that works.
Are you truly planless if you're gonna be?
If you're planning to be here.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is a conundrum.
You didn't have plans, therefore now you have plans. But if you were planning to be here anyway,
I was planning to be here before I could have made any other plans.
It's fine.
I thought you were gonna drop on us that you had plans and you weren't gonna be there.
Just show. How about this? If you're around that night, just show up. So it's always fun. There's I'm usually drinking some sort of bubbled thing, and what? There's some sort of bubbly cocktail situation, and there's plenty of games, and we go pretty late until I'm too tired, or there's.
Because we stay up for Quinton's.
Stay up for mine.
Yeah.
My
So
New
that's
Year's the
3
latest
a.m.
in our
our time.
group.
Yeah. So and we go from there, and it's a lot of fun. We hang out. So it's overall just a great time. So if you've not been to one, show up, see if you like it. If you don't like it, secretly leave. We won't know. So with that, I don't got nothing else. So when you hear this, happy holidays. Merry Festivus.
They'll see swallows all.
Yeah. I mean,
And also, if you're here in chat and you don't want any Endwalker spoilers, leave now, because we're going to raid Avi because she is starting her Endwalker journey. And if you don't want to see any of that stuff, go now,
yeah,
quick.
leave.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, we're gonna raid
And make sure you're
somebody
following.
who's playing. So do not want to see that. Leave now.
She's very early on, but if you don't want to see anything, then go.
So with that, till sea swallows all, keep listening.
Maelstrom Radio is brought to you by maelstromradio.com and Blackfire Media. Produced by Flatus, Shintier, and Susan Sprinkle. Join us live Fridays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/maelstromradio. Send email to show@maelstromradio.com, tweet us at maelstrom_radio, or join our Discord at maelstromradio.com/discord. Views and opinions expressed by our hosts and guests do not reflect the views and opinions of any companies discussed on today's show.